Hi guys, Sages is here, and I'm going to be talking to you about something kind of serious for me, and something serious for Heroes because, I'm feeling a bit out of it right now when it comes to content here, and a lot of other stuff. Oh boy, so, last night was a bit of a trip. A lot of you were like, oh my god, did you see, Ira and all that fun stuff, and there was a whole firestorm over it. People were getting mad. Things were going crazy. And I'll be kind of honest. This video will be a bit of a rant, and it's something that I felt a long time coming. I said before that I've been feeling really despondent and kind of unmotivated and just demoralized by things that have been happening, not only on YouTube, but also in Heroes recently. So I'm just going to talk about that. But before this, I'm going to preface this by, I'm just going to say one thing real quick. Heroes in the last few months have actually been pretty good. The last few months for this have been rather, well, they've been informed. We've had better ideas of what's going on. And IS did a really good job at least being transparent. They put out roadmaps, they put out things that were interesting. We got a lot of GHB characters that were, useful and really fun to use, and it was a really interesting time. But we also, got good updates like the support system and, of course, Sacred Coins, which I feel Sacred Coins did a good job at least avoiding the one thing that constantly happens with these kind of games where they become pay to win in that regard. I felt like I was kind of worried that these would just be like, oh man, pay like 2 orbs and get like 50 coins or something like that. I was kind of concerned that that would happen, but thankfully that's been avoided, and instead it's been maintained and kind of put into something different, simply put. So I feel that's commendable. Good for them. They've also, of course, released great Tempest Trials characters like, the Black Knight. And Tempest Trials has always been a good source for, new things, new characters, new everything. And it's really something fascinating to watch. But I do have to say that the last few weeks have kind of shaken me in how things have been going when it comes to this game. And I feel I just kind of need to talk about it. So we're, of course, going to talk about this because, well, it has to be talked about. It's kind of the elephant in the room. But this isn't the only problem I have right now, okay? This isn't the only thing that I'm worried about because, well, yeah, this was something I felt was kind of scummy. The whole separating thing, or at least putting Ira in a new banner. Even though technically you showed her in the trailer, she's technically a character in the side stories, so it's kind of odd to see this. But we'll talk about that. Well, I mean, I guess we can talk about that right now, just to give you a better idea. People constantly ask me, well, why are you so upset? They're just trying to make money. It's almost like they're a company trying to make money. Well, yes, and yes, I understand that. To give you a better concept here, I totally get it. I don't think they're suffering too much when it comes to money right now. Nintendo and IS, obviously. But I get it. This is trying to be a cash grab. And the thing is, if they had told us beforehand, I probably wouldn't have been too upset. Oh, okay, you're putting Ira into a separate banner. Sure, whatever, why not? But the fact that this came out, I don't even, probably, less than 3 or 4 days after this banner launched, it's kind of unnerving to me. It's kind of awkward, kind of odd, kind of strange in how they handled that, and it's not, I'll just say at face value, it's a dick move. And it was a dick move that would have happened, it would have been the same kind of thing if this was Arden, scary-ass Arden right there in that banner instead of Ira. And for some reason, Ira was, the Tempest Trial character. I know people are like, well, oh, what a shame, it's not a free unit. Yeah, that is a shame. Our own expectations got the better of us there, data mining and kind of showing off her in the trailer was kind of, hyping us up for things that would, come, and people were really crazy about it and hoping beyond all hope that something, like her would be free because, let's be honest here, she is a pretty good character. I'm never, I wouldn't say I've never seen a character, but I haven't seen a character that can go above 30 on 4 stats and still usually have a 50 or a even more than that when it comes to actual abilities, along with, of course, a very potent weapon and a very potent special attack. So yes, things like that are always kind of crazy. So people were kind of hoping she would be a free unit. I can understand that. But if it were Arden, I'd still be mad. Partly because that's still very, very scummy, and just not something I feel is a great idea. Then, of course, we have other things that people are pointing out as time goes on, and people constantly want to mention, and that, of course, is this right here. Tempest Trial, it's coming out. I actually have several problems with this, but I know people are pointing out right here. Before, we've had 3 currencies that have kind of run through Tempest Trial. Feathers, crystals, and, of course, orbs. And, well, obviously, sacred coins are now being added to that because they're a new thing, and people are worried that it's going to take orbs away, and that is a very big possibility. They could do that, making, you know, things a little bit harder for free-to-play users to really play. And yeah, I can see that. I know people might get a little worried that that might happen. I wouldn't check the data just to see, like, where previous tiers for these, you know, things like this when it comes to score, what the usual reward were for these. And usually, at least from what I could tell, around 27,500, it was usually crystals, so it really could go either way. And I feel people may get a little too worried about that, but, you know, it is a legitimate concern, and I feel that's just, it's scaring me. It's scary to me, and it's scaring me in a lot of ways. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm worried. And I'm worried that perhaps, just maybe, this might be just kind of killing off Tempest Trials in some ways, but, you know. There was also this that I find really quite unnerving as well. For the first time, and I think almost all of the Tempest Trials, I'm just looking at the Tempest Trials real quick since I can, the previous ones at least. The previous Tempest Trials, typically, what they had were a mixture of new and old units in the top current bonuses. And from what I can tell, all of the units in the 40% here are new units from either Ira's banner, of course, or the new Holy War banner. Before, we had units like, you know, when it came to, you know, Celicas, they had a mixture of old and new. You know, To Die on the Battlefield, which was a retread, had completely old units and some freebies in there. And then, of course, we had, like, Moment of Fate, which, of course, had Ike. And then, of course, you know, characters like Oscar, Nephany, and Alincia, which that was kind of a bit of a brush there. They also have kind of started phasing out units that are free to get. Usually, when it comes to things like this, granted, they've kind of waffled behind it. Well, I guess waffled a bit when it came to it. We used to have Alphonse, Sharina, and Anna. Why do I keep saying that? Anna in there, and, well, now they seem to focus mostly on units that you either have to get via GHB or get lucky when it comes to summoning. Or, of course, you know, the unit that you get as a reward from there. You can see that Arden's in there. And these are all legitimate concerns, and I feel that if IS continues to do this, we're going to just have problems trying to understand what's going to happen. We can't really get excited for things when a lot of the time I feel there's just such a disconnect. And I'm starting to feel that more and more as time goes on, because especially, you know, when we didn't get a roadmap, which I feel is such a great great idea that they need to put out. They need to do more roadmaps, give us an idea of where the game is heading. Otherwise, we don't really have anything to get excited about. They just randomly pop things up and we're like, oh, hey, look, there's that. And as much as I like talking about heroes and doing things for heroes, I'm really starting to grow tired of it. And that might just be me. That might just be me being weird and, you know, sad and, you know, upset that I can't just talk about things infinitely when it comes to a game like this, but, I don't know. It comes down to a lot of awkward situations, from grand hero battles to characters that you really don't know what you should do or what we should be thinking of when it comes to future editions, and we had leaks that we were lucky to know about. Otherwise, we would have no idea what's going on. I'm starting to wonder if maybe IS got annoyed by the whole leaker thing, but it's so much to me right now that, this game got me a lot of you guys. It's the reason why you're here. You're talking to me. And to see it fall apart like that is kind of weird, and it hurts me, and it makes me feel bad, if that makes any sense. And that's really sad to me. Honestly, I feel like I'm a sad person when I say things like that. But, I mean, I don't want to focus on this and get upset. And I don't want to focus on this and get mad or angry over it, because, people are going to do that anyways. I feel like that's up to them, but maybe it might just be time to move on from Heroes and do other things and reduce Heroes down a bit. It's going to hurt my views, but it's not worth worrying about, IS, you just need to be more transparent. You need to put more effort into talking to us, because when you pull stunts like that, it really makes us worry. And, people naturally, after seeing that, are getting more worried about things like Tempest Trials, when we don't even know if the orbs are, being played down or not. We could just be getting less crystals, which honestly are something, not everyone needs. It's just something I feel we need to talk about. And if you guys want to talk about it in the comments with me, I would love to hear you. So, yes. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me in the comments, and we'll see what you guys think. Love you guys very much.